Hello students, now it's the time to complete the configuration part, how to fill the electrons and to write the electronic configuration following the various rules. So the various rules that helps us in filling of the electrons in the various orbital part along with the previously what we used to do, we used to fill the electron in the shell. But now as we have gone in the detail of shell, subshell and orbital concept, so it's time to complete the various different principles and rules to fill the electron at the exact location and also following the quantum number concept. So first rule, the very important rule is the Aufbau rule. It is our first rule, the Aufbau principle. So the word Aufbau itself means building up principle. And according to Aufbau rule, when we are filling the electrons, we always move from the ground state of an atom or ion, that the electrons are filled towards the higher energy level. That is the filling of electron from lower energy level to the higher energy level. And the filling of electrons takes place following a diagonal method as given according to the Aufbau principle. So let us see the filling method as given in the Aufbau principle. We will write the number of the shells, and we all know that each of the shell is having the different subshells and the orbitals associated with it. For example, in case of first, it is only the S is present in it. In case of second shell, the two subshells S and P are present along with the P having the different orbitals also. In case of third shell, there are SP, D and F, SPD, and in case of fourth, there are the four subshells and the orbitals associated are SP, D and F. Similarly, it goes on for the other one also, but the filling itself gets completed when we are involving the F part. So in case of 5, we are also writing 5S, 5P, 5D and 5F. But the electron filling takes place in a very special method. That is, we have to draw the diagonals. That is, in case of 1S, we will write the 1S, 2S, 2P, 3S, 3P, 3D, 4S, 4P, 4D, 4F. We will write in this manner, and then the filling of the electron takes place in the diagonal method. For example, first of all, what we are going to fill? We will write 1S, then 2S, moving from 2S to 2P, then 3S, 3P. Now, what the thing you are wondering about? 3P and then 4S. In spite of filling the 3D, we are moving from 3P to 4S, then 3D, and likewise we will go in the further part. While filling of the electrons in the various subshells, it is to be remembered that the maximum capacity for the S is 2 electron, the maximum capacity for the P is 6 electron, for that of D is 10 electron, and for that of F is 14 electron, because we all know that in each of the orbital the maximum electrons that can be occupied are 2. And since F is having 7 parts, so maximum electrons occupied are 14. Now one very important question arises here, that why is 4S filled before 3D? Very, very important term. Why is 4S filled before 3D? So going in the depth of this question, we came for the other rule, that is the N plus L rule. Children, remember all these rules. These rules are going to help us a lot when we are filling the electrons. Not only in class 11th, it is going to help us in class 12th also. So N plus L rule. Dear student, N here means the principal quantum number. And what about L? L is the azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number. You all know about principal and azimuthal quantum number. In the previous video, we have discussed about the various quantum numbers also. So the N plus L rule says that the one which is having the N plus L value less is filled first, and the other which is having the N plus L value higher is filled later on. So orbital with lower N plus L values are filled before those which are having the higher N plus L value. So finding the answer for our question, that why is 4S is filled before 3D. 4S is filled before 3D. So getting the answer from N plus L rule, 4S, the sum of 4S is 4 plus S, that is 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. And what about 3D? Is equal to 3 plus 2, that is 5. So it is very clear from n plus L rule that 4s is filled before 3d, because the n plus L value of 4s is 4 and that of 3d is 5. But what will happen if the two are having the same n plus L value? When the orbitals which are both having the same n plus L value. So let us see one more example, that in case of 2p and 3s, 2p and 3s both are having same n plus L value, then which has to be filled? So dear student, remember now at this time the one which is having the lower n value is filled first. 2p and 3s, let's find out what about 2p. 2 plus p, that is 2 plus 1, it is equal to 3. And what about 3s? 3 plus s, that is 3 plus 0, it is again 3. Now, to which you are going to choose? The rule says that one which is having the lower n value has to be filled first. So we are going to fill which one? We are going to fill 2p before 3s. So this is a very simple n plus L rule, which helps in finding out that which orbital has to be filled first. The lower n plus L value has to be filled first. Now we have gone to two rules, that is the above and the n plus L rule. Now coming to the other rule, that is the Pauli's exclusion principle. Dear student, you all know that we have to fill 2 electrons in the each orbital. While moving with the quantum number, we have discussed these things also. So the principle, the Pauli's exclusion principle states that in an atom or a molecule, no two electrons can have the same 4 electronic quantum numbers. No two electron in the same can have the same value for the electronic quantum numbers. Now an orbital can maximum have the 2 electrons, and these electrons must be in the opposite direction. If one is the clockwise, then the other must be in the anti-clockwise direction. During the quantum numbers we have done plus half and minus half. So if one is having the plus half value, then the other must be having the minus half value. We can see from the spin also. In case of 1s, both are opposite to each other. One is clockwise and the other is anti-clockwise. But what is done in case of 2s if the student is writing like this? It is totally incorrect. Both the electron cannot be in the same spin when they are present in the same orbital. Now the lower diagram is correct because in both the case one is having the 2 electron, both are in the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. When we are talking about Pauli's exclusion principle, the one thing that we have stated that no 2 electrons can have the same value of the all 4 quantum numbers. Let us prove this value by using NL, MS. Let us consider the shell number 1, that is we are in KL. Okay, K shell, that is the 1. So in that case of azimuthal quantum number, the azimuthal quantum number is going to be 0. What about magnetic quantum number ML? It is also going to be 0. What about the spin quantum number, that is MS? It can have value plus half or minus half, because we all know that the spin quantum number depends upon each value of ml. For each ml, it is having the plus half or minus half. So students, you can see that the plus half, the electron in the clockwise rotation, is having NLM 1, 0 and 0. And the other which is having the minus half, the one which is represented by minus half or anti-clockwise, is also having NLML as 1, 0, 0. So both the electrons, both are present in the same orbital, the same shell, but both are having NL and ML same, but the fourth quantum number is different. So the statement that no 2 electrons can have all the same 4 electronic quantum numbers is totally justified. Okay, now we come to the other rule, that is the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, a very important rule, a very, very important part. So maximum multiplicity, the Hund's rule states that every orbital in a sublevel is singly occupied before any orbital is doubly occupied. That is, if there is a degeneracy in the energy, the degenerate orbitals are present. For example, in case of P, in D, in F, where are the different orbitals are present and all are having the same energy. Then in that case, the Hund's rule stated that all of these must be first singly filled and then they should be doubly occupied. The other thing, all of the electron in a singly occupied orbital must have the same spin to maximize the total spin. So the two main things that we are going to conclude in case of the Hund's rule is, for the degenerate orbital, that is in case of P, D and F, where there are different parts also associated in each subshell and the orbitals are 3, 5 and 7, then in that case, all of them must be single occupied. So when assigning the electrons to the orbital, an electron first seeks to fill all the orbitals with similar energy, which are also referred as degenerate orbital when the orbitals are having the similar energy. For example, px, py, pz, they are considered degenerate. The 5 parts of D, the 7 parts of F, they are considered degenerate in nature. So before pairing with another electron, they must be half filled and they are equally filled. So let us see one example here. This is the case of oxygen, which is having the 8 electrons. Okay, we are taking the example of oxygen with 8 electron, and its configuration in general writing is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. But how this 2p4 is present? 1s2 and 2s2 are correct in both the cases. 1s2, 2s2 following the Pauli's rule, the clockwise and anti-clockwise also. But how to represent 2p4? If we are writing in the 3 degenerate orbitals of 2p, that one is having 2 and the other is having 2. So one of the block is left vacant. But according to Hund's rule, first we have to fill one electron in the degenerate orbitals and then it is doubly occupied. So the correct method is 1s2, 2s2, and in case of 2p, the 3 degenerate parts are occupied as 2, 1, 1 rather than 2 and 2. So first, the most important thing is the sublevels should be singly occupied before any orbital is doubly occupied. And this is the case in case of the degenerate orbitals only. Okay, for example, the P, the D and the F. Now, with this, we also move to the some of the very important configuration which are exceptional in nature. All are filled according to the above. The Pauli's rule, the Hund's rule, the n plus L value. But there are certain things which are having the different nature due to some exceptional behavior. So we are going to seek these things also. These are very important examples, students. First, the expected electronic configuration of chromium should be. All of you must be knowing that the chromium is having number 24. So if we fill these electrons according to the above principle, then it gets the number argon, that is the 18, then 4s2 3d4. If we consider it to be filling according to simple above. Now in this case, the 4s subshell is completely filled, 4s is 2, but 3d subshell is neither completely filled nor half filled. For half filled, the D should be D5. Now due to the electronic repulsion forces, one 4s electron transfers one of its electron to the 3d subshell to acquire the observed configuration. Now students, see what happens when the 4s transfer one of the electron to the 3d. Now chromium 24 can be represented as argon, 4s1 and then 3d5. Look here student, the D is having half filled nature now. The D is half filled. So Hund's is going to say something about this also. So in this case, 3d and 4s subshell both have extra stability due to the half filled orbitals, and it gives the spatial stability to the atom also. So this configuration is wrong, and now you are going to write the configuration for chromium as argon 4s1 and 3d5. So this can also be represented by using the two main causes of extra stability, that we will see that what are the two main causes for getting the extra stability in case of chromium also. So students, the two main causes to show the extra stability in cases the symmetrical distribution of electron. So I am going to draw the box diagram also. When we are saying chromium, argon, 4s to 3d4. So how the D is represented? The D is represented, we are going to make the 5 blocks as we are talking about D, and we will draw only 3d4 like this. But when we are going to write chromium as 4s1 3d5, so what you get in case of 3d5? The 3d5 is represented like, all of them are having the singly occupied nature. This is half filled, and due to half filled, it is, you can see that all the spins are aligned in the same direction. It is symmetric in nature. We can see very well see that all of these are aligned in the same direction. It is having symmetry. And dear students, symmetry leads to stability. So 3d5 is going to be more stable due to the symmetric distribution of electrons. Now the second main factor for the extra stability of 3d5, the exchange energy. So the question arises, what is exchange energy? So when two or more electrons are present in the degenerate orbital, remember this is a very important term, the degenerate, that is the equal energy orbitals. In the degenerate orbitals with the same spin, now these electrons tend to exchange their position and energy. They tend to exchange their position, and while exchanging their position, some energy is released. And due to the release of this energy, they will occupy the low energy value. So the energy is released, and due to this exchange, the word exchange energy arises. And students, greater is the exchange energy, more is the stability. So what is exchange energy? When the electron is present in the degenerate orbital and it is exchanging its position and energy with the other electron of the same spin, then in that case, it is releasing the energy. The releasing of energy makes it to the low energy, and the low energy always leads to stability. So greater is the exchange energy, greater is the release of energy, so greater is the stability. So let us see in case of 3d4 and 3d5, which is having more exchange energy and which is going to be more stable. So in case of 3d4, how many exchange energies are present each time? 1, 2, 3, and 4 electrons are present. Okay. And in case of 3d5, there is presence of 5 electrons. So one by one, we will be taking each case how the electrons are transferred from one place to another. So how they are exchanged, we will see further. Now, in case of 3d4, let us see in case of 3d4 what is happening. In case of 3d4, the electron can transit from one place, the exchange energy. The first electron can exchange by 1. Now, let us draw the other case. How many exchanges are possible? This is the main thing. We are calculating the exchange energy. So, let us see the case of the other electron. It can exchange at 2 places. Okay, the 2 exchanges are possible. Now, let us see the other case. We will draw the same format. Okay, and we will see how many exchanges are possible. So for this electron, 1, 2, and the other 3. So how many exchanges are possible, students? It is 1 in the first case, 2 in the other, and 3 in the third case. So total number of exchange energy in this case becomes 6. Let us see in case of 3d5 what is happening. Okay, so first we will draw all the diagrams related to it, the box diagrams. We will draw the diagrams, how many exchanges are possible, how many spacings can be there. Because more the exchange energy, more is going to be the stability. So let's see in case of 3d5 whether it is going to be more or less. Because in case of symmetry, 3d5 is the best one. So let us see the first case. In this case, only one exchange is possible. Now for the other electron, how many exchanges are possible? We can see 2. Now in case of the other electron, 1, 2, and the other one is 3. 3 exchanges are possible. Now let us come to the last one. So how many exchanges are possible? 1, 2, 3, and then the 4. So the total of the exchange energy in this case becomes 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is equal to 10. So greater the exchange energy, more is the stability. So the 3d5 is going to be the more accurate configuration for writing the chromium. Okay, now the same is the case, students, with the copper also. Similarly, copper is also having the copper is having the expected configuration different, but its exceptional configuration is again going to be different. As according to Hund's rule, the half-filled and full-filled are going to be more stable in nature. So similarly, the case of the copper is having 29 number. Okay, so if we write it in a general way, we will write it as argon 4s to 3d9. Okay, filling the simply electrons one after the other. Now again, the interelectronic repulsion forces one of the 4s electron into the 3d, and now the observed configuration, the exceptional configuration becomes for copper is copper 29. It is written as argon 4s1 and 3d10. Now what we can see is 3d10, the fulfilled nature. So it is the accurate one, and this is ruled out. And again, the reason that we can give in case of copper 3d9 and 3d10, why 3d10 is more better, because it is having the symmetrical distribution of all the 10 electrons, and the other thing, the exchange energy is going to be higher in case of 3d10 as compared to 3d9. So there is extra stability when we are talking about the half-filled and the full-filled nature. So according to Hund's rule, the half-filled and full-filled are going to be extra stable, and in order to attain these things, chromium and copper are going to be in the exceptional behavior. So this is about the filling of the electrons in case of when we are following the various rules, that is Aufbau, N plus L, Pauli's, and the Hund's rule. Now the other thing that arises with it, sometimes the ionic configuration is also given. How to do the ionic configuration? The ions are given and we have to write the configuration of it also. So in that case, what is to be done? We have to follow certain things which are very, very important here to be followed. Okay, students, let us write the electronic configuration for ions also. Electronic configuration for ions. Because a number of times the student do it in an incorrect manner. For example, we are going to write for ferrous and ferric. Ferrous and ferric ion configuration is to be given. Now the teacher gives that Fe is equal to 26, the atomic number. So what the student usually do, they 26 minus 2 do the 2 plus 2 electrons, that is plus 2 charge. 2 electrons are removed and they usually write for 24. And in case of Fe3 plus, they directly write for 23. But this is not the thing. What you have to follow is you have to remove 2 electrons from iron. So this is not at all the correct way to directly write for the electrons after subtracting. What we have to do is we have to write iron in a proper way, that is iron 26, argon 4s2, 3d6, following the Aufbau principle properly. Now, what the teacher asked for, it is ferrous, that is Fe2 plus. So you have to remove 2 electrons. Most of the students, what they used to do is they remove the 2 electrons from 3D. But dear students, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 is the outer one. In case of iron, 4 is the outermost. So the electron has to be removed from 4 rather than to be removed from 3D. So remember here that 4s is the outer. 4s is filled before 3D because 4s is having the lower N plus N value. But why the removal is done from it? Because 4 is the valence shell here. So what about Fe plus 2? It is argon 3d6. The 2 electrons are removed from the 4s part rather than from the 3d. Now, in case of ferric, it is again argon, 1 more electron removed, that is, it becomes 3d5, half-filled, stable in nature. Okay, so while writing the configuration for ions, always remember that first to write the neutral nature, neutral atom configuration, and then remove accordingly. So this is all about how to fill the electronic configuration, following the various principles and rules, and how to write the electronic configuration for the ions. With this, our lesson structure of atom gets to the completion part. So that's all for our lesson. Revise the lesson, all of you. So okay, take care.